This is the DJI Mavic Mini, a revolutionary drone because of its small size and less than 250 gram weight that allows it to bypass some drone laws. It launches in a matter of seconds and gives me stable, clear 2.7K 30 frames per second video. No 4K, but that's actually okay. The battery life is stunning. They say it lasts 30 minutes. I found it to be more than enough. I just charge it up every night like I do my phone. This drone is incredibly stable, especially given its really small size. I feel like it's even smoother than the more expensive Mavic Air. Here's the fatal flaw. Today it's dead calm on the ground, and you can see that because there's still snow stuck to the tree limbs. But once I get to a couple of hundred feet, the wind is too much for the drone and it just blows away. I made a whole video talking about piloting drones in high wind. I know how to handle a drone, but most people don't know how to do that, especially people who might be buying a $400 drone. Those are beginning pilots. And I know what's going to happen. It's going to blow away. When you look at the comments of the video, you're going to see a bunch of people saying, oh, you're an idiot. I have the Mavic Mini. I don't lose it. It doesn't blow away. I do believe that there are places where even at altitude, it never gets windy enough. But this is a travel drone. This is a drone you take to different places, a drone you want to capture your own adventures with. And you need to ask yourself, might there be one circumstance where you're somewhere else and the drone isn't able to keep up? That's especially going to be true if you're ever near the coast or mountains. Those are times when people are most likely to get beautiful footage. Let's bring this back in. You can win this exact drone. I will give it to you. Go to the URL here, sign up, and I will pick somebody and I will send them my very drone no matter where you live in the world. Good luck. It literally fits in a coat pocket and I can carry it all day without even noticing it. And that opens up a world of possibilities. I can take it hiking and grab shots of nature. I can travel with it and I don't even need to travel with a charger because it USB charges. While the reception is excellent, it isn't quite as good as the Mavic 2 or Phantom 4 Pro. It'll cut out before those drones, so if you want the most reliable, clear signal and the longest distance, you should pick up one of the bigger drones. They're so proud of the fact that it's not 250 grams that they write it right on the side. You're still obligated to fly safely and follow drone laws. You just don't have to pay the $5 registration fee. Serious flaw number 2 in the Mavic Mini is no subject tracking. This is an incredibly useful feature that has gotten really good on the DJI drones and the Parrot and Nafi. It can lock in and follow me wherever I'm going. So I can track myself driving, I can track myself walking, and that's a really powerful tool for visual storytellers like YouTubers and vloggers and filmmakers. This drone can't do that. It can't track you. So it can sit stationary in the air while you walk around, or you can have a separate pilot manning it and flying it, but you can't film yourself. The next major flaw, the controller still kind of sucks, and it kind of sucks on all the Mavics because it has this little grippy thing at the bottom that you're supposed to put your phone into, but on my iPhone at least, it never works very well. Like if you have a case on, you pretty much have to take the case off. Then you kind of have to fit this little cord in here and then try to squeeze it in, and you can see it's stretched to its extremes on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. So now it's in there and I need to swipe up from the bottom of the screen, but I can't easily get to it, and so it's kind of just a pain to, and then I can't log in with Face ID because the camera's covered by the top part. It's just a crap design. I think they should put it at the top and grip it from the sides. I also like the screen being up here because you can see it easier. It's closer to your eye line when you're watching the drone rather than being below your hands. Another controller problem is these things unscrew, which is great because they make this flatter and fit in the bag easier, but then they fit into this little rubber part beneath it, and I have a tendency to drop these when I'm pulling them out, and if you're on the side of a mountain or something, as I sometimes am, they could be lost forever and then you wouldn't be able to fly. And DJI knows this is a possibility because they actually give you an extra set of these little guys. Maybe design something where it's not going to be so easily lost, like maybe it could retract or whatever. None of these are deal breakers. They're just annoyances that I managed to work around. But still, when you see these same annoying problems on generation after generation of controller, I wish DJI would fix them, and maybe they'll listen this time. Another major flaw in this, especially for beginners, is that there is no obstacle avoidance in it. It will just crash into anything, which means you need to be a real good pilot. And this isn't as easy as it sounds, because if you're getting a great like sideways pivot shot or you're backing up into something, you don't get to see that through the front facing camera. You can avoid obstacles looking at the screen if you're flying forward, but if you're flying backwards, if you're doing a pivot like this, you will crash into things and not be able to see it. And the drone can't see it either. Honestly, it's hard to deduct too many points for this on the Mavic Mini because obstacle avoidance doesn't work well on any drone. Even the high-end DJI drones, they still won't see small tree branches and they'll crash into stuff. I know you're supposed to have eyes on the drone at all times, but the fact of the matter is when something is far away, you don't have perfect 3D perception. It can be closer to an object than it seems. So it lacks obstacle avoidance, which means you probably will crash into stuff. The good news is it's very durable. I've crashed into things and I've broken props, and even with the broken props, it'll still fly. It's pretty amazing that way. But the next flaw is when you do replace props, you cannot replace the group as a whole. You have to unscrew the individual props and not just replace the prop, but replace the screw, because the screw has Loctite on it. And I'm afraid if you didn't replace the screw, if you were to reuse the existing screw, that the Loctite wouldn't hold and thus the prop might fly off in mid-air. So if you do crack a prop, it takes longer and it's much more difficult to do in the field. I just much prefer the field serviceability of just about any other drone. The next major flaw, props in the shot. Still, every drone except for the Parrot and Naffy and the huge DJI Inspire suffer from this. If you're flying forward and into the wind, the props will inevitably get into the shot, or the drone will automatically adjust the tilt of the camera to frame out the props from the shot. But neither of those are good. If the props get in the shot is ruined. If the drone decides to recompose my shot because it doesn't want the props in the shot, guess what? I picked that composition for a reason. I'm a photographer. If I want the horizon at the lower 2/3, that's what I want. Don't decide that you can just move the camera down. It's a design flaw, and I know it doesn't have to be this way because the Parrot and Naffy doesn't do it that way. We need to get the props farther back, the camera further forward, something. And my final set of fatal flaws are the limitations on photos and video. There's no 4K, just 2.7K, and like, okay, you can mix it in your 4K footage and probably nobody's gonna notice. But the limitations on still photos are ridiculous and totally artificial. They're just software based. It's not recording RAW files for you, so you can shoot JPEG only. Okay, no RAW, no problem. I'll just turn on bracketing. I'll capture a sequence of 3 or 5 shots at different exposures, bright, normal exposure, underexposed, and then blend them together. Except you can't bracket with this drone either. You also can't shoot a high-res panorama automatically. You're probably gonna hate my very last complaint because no drone currently offers this, but they all should. I want the ability to take vertical shots. I want to be able to turn the camera sideways. Vertical is the most common orientation now on the most popular photo platforms like Instagram. So with all that said, should you get a Mavic Mini? Maybe. If you really want a drone and you only want to spend $400, it's the best one. And guess what? You don't need the Fly More package. Save your money. This default package is fine, but be sure you really study how to use it because there are no buffers. It will crash into stuff. It will blow away in the wind. When it gives you that high wind warning, you don't have to listen to it on the other drones, but on the Mavic Mini, you sure do. You won't be able to get it back. Another good reason to get the Mavic Mini is that the 249 gram weight allows you to circumvent some restriction in your specific area. Maybe you already know of a law and you need it, great. Or if you just need something that is so light and portable that you will carry it with you because you're currently leaving your bigger drone behind, great. It is incredibly portable. If you heard my complaint about it recomposing to avoid getting the props in the shot, check out the Parrot and Naffy, which does not have that problem. It's an excellent drone. It also offers subject tracking at a pretty reasonable price. It just doesn't have the amazing reception or the portability that this drone has. If you have some more money to spend, check out the Mavic 2 Zoom. That's what I personally will continue to use because it's reliable and powerful, and I know just about no matter what, it's ready for me. Yeah, it's a lot bigger and I have to travel with a battery charger. Those are disadvantages, but I know whatever the circumstances are, I can pull it out and fly it safely and get it back to me. It will get the shot. It costs more, but it is more drone. If you already own a Mavic Mini and you disagree with something, or you've seen other reviews who say something different, acknowledge that we all have different styles of shooting. We all live in different environments. I'm doing my best to help people make educated buying decisions by bringing you unbiased reviews. I don't care if I hurt the feelings of DJI or DJI fanboys by pointing out real design flaws in DJI drones. I want the consumer to make educated choices. If you decide to buy it, you buy it knowing what those weaknesses are and knowing that you can work around them and that it works for your shooting style. And if you want to see more honest, unbiased reviews like that, give me a like, subscribe, maybe write a comment with something positive. Don't forget, you can win this very drone, so go to that URL and sign up.
Never up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feel so